Hi everyone, I want to tell you about a kind of spontaneous collective healing transmission that me and my friend Magdalena were guided to do for the new moon, on the new moon. The story's kind of long. I don't want to go into all the details, but there's just some amazing synchronicities that have happened between the 5-5 portal healing that I did for the collective. And then if you guys recall, there was a double. It was 5-5 and 5-10 because the spirit wanted the eclipse energies to close out, and then me do more on 5-10 to basically like round everything out, smooth it out, close it up after the eclipse energies finished, because the full moon was on the eclipse. Well, of course, it always has to be. The lunar eclipse. No. I said that wrong, because the 5-5 portal was on the eclipse and the full moon. There you go. So anyway, so all of that was working on clearing and removing 3D and 4D limitations and interferences from external dark sources of all sorts, and like declaring our sovereignty from all of them and making an oath to ourselves for our path forward. It included using the diamond, white fire, and violet ray to cleanse and purify our paths, open the lines of communication, and open timelines and pathways moving forward. So then, right after that, we got hit with all of these intense energies on Mother's Day, right? Did you guys feel that? Which turned out, it's amazing because there's so many synchronicities. Magdalena found this post about a huge entity being cleared on Mother's Day weekend off of the collective. And then on top of that, Mercury went direct on Mother's Day as well. So all of that played into the heavy energies on Mother's Day and the Monday after. We were just like releasing all of that probably for everyone. And then a couple days later, Magdalena reached out to me, being guided by spirit, to do a collective healing at the end of the week. And she wanted to see if I wanted to participate with her. And I did. I checked in with spirit about it. Spirit wanted us to do it on the new moon specifically, which we did. And spirit was telling us spirit told me for releasing blame, shame, and guilt in the divine masculines. And spirit told her for them to be relinquishing like their warrior swords, because they spent so many lifetimes bound by duty and obligation as warriors, literally fighting in wars or in other roles and aspects of society and life that prevented them from following their heart. It prevented them from being true to themselves and true to their soul. So this was going to be about relinquishing those warrior swords and those swords of duty and obligation and replacing them with the sword of truth. And that was perfect. And I thought it just made so much sense coming off of everything we just did for the 5-5 and on 5-10, and the energies that transmuted over the Mother's Day weekend. So I'm going to be like, this is going to be a quicker video. I'm not going to go into all the details. Magdalena actually wrote a really beautiful post and included a video of her altar that she set up for it. So I'm going to include that. Well, if you're on TikTok, you're going to have to go and look on my Instagram. I will see if I can post the video of the altar on TikTok, though, since it's a video. Excuse me. So, but on Instagram and Facebook, you will see, so obviously YouTube won't have it either, but on Instagram and Facebook, I will have the statement she wrote out about it that explains everything that we did in the ceremony. It was really beautiful. One of the things that I just have to point out, because I think it's amazing. So there was lots of different spiritual beings there working with us, working on the collective, working on the divine masculines. But I specifically felt that Saint Germain was there. And that stood out to me because it's the first time that I've ever felt Saint Germain around me. I mean, he may have been there before, but it was the first time it was brought to my attention. And Magdalena pointed out his twin flame as well. Well, I looked up his twin flame a couple days later. His twin flame was Lady Portia. And what did I find about Lady Portia? That she is the holder of the sword of truth. And she is is responsible for justice and making things right. But what stood out to me was that she's the holder of the sword of truth, and the whole ceremony was about giving the masculines the sword of truth to help them step into their strength and their power, and to follow their hearts. So yes, so we did that on the new moon. Like I said, you can read the specific details of what she wrote out about it and look at the altar, which I love looking at it because it just makes me tingle all over again from the crown chakra down. But quick summary, everyone was around a campfire. Archangel Michael and many other spiritual beings and ascended masters were there. And the masculines were cleansed by shamanic healers and by the white buffalo calf woman. And they threw their battlefield swords into the fire, and Archangel Michael tossed them their new swords of truth that are going to help them. I will actually read this. Did I just speak English? I will actually read this part. An alchemical shift released these men from their protective armor in order to feel safe in expressing their feelings, emotions, and sacred vulnerability, creating a sacred balance between their head and heart, and choosing to live authentically, guided by the wisdom and truth of their soul. Really beautiful. So they also received of course, we also purified and cleansed those past lives and whatever happened in them in those past lives as well. They received sacred blessings from Jesus and Mary Magdalene. In this particular, I'm pointing out because it was really beautiful how they received sacred rose waters over their crown chakras, and they also drank rose water, and it filled their heart centers. So their heart centers had been had walls up around them and had been full of that lower energy, the lower difficult energy from those past lives of duty and war and just fighting. And even you could also say fighting head versus heart as well, really. And so that was cleansed out and removed, and it was replaced with that divine love rose water that filled their heart spaces and is now helping them to connect with their authentic selves and be able to I'm thinking of multiple things at once. Be able to connect with their feminines while also reconnecting with their true selves and with their own inner child, inner children, as they continue down the healing process. So that was just really beautiful. And like I said, you can read the details. I want to tell you a little bit more before the video time runs out. So I really thought that was all amazing. Actually, that's right. Literally within days after that, Magdalena found this post on Facebook from a different light worker guy who was talking about how there is a new higher masculine revolution happening now. And the awakened masculine is taking off his armor in order to communicate his feelings and understand the value of his own emotions, to start living authentically, reconnect with the divine feminine, be accountable for his actions, and go through the spiritual awakening process. So we thought it was amazing that this guy posted about this right after or around the same time that we did that collective healing. And then I also had to ask Spirit about next month. Kathy reached out about a workshop for the summer solstice, so I talked to Spirit about that and the 6/6 collective healing, and everything has been lining up synchronistically in the purposes, and it continues to. The 6/6 is going to be about healing for personal power and strength to stand in your sovereignty and speak and live your soul truths, embodying your true authentic self. That's sovereignty in karmic situations as well as in the sword of truth, living your sword of truth. So the 6/6 is going to continue that healing process for everybody. And then the summer solstice workshop is going to be about embodying Empress energy, making yourself happy, co-creating with spirit, manifesting your dream life, pursuing your passions, and following your life purposes, trusting spirit to provide and align things for you, which is all part of surrendering and coming into true inner union. You cannot achieve outer union with your masculine, but until you achieve that inner union. So that is, even though it's individual work, it's part of the process of the twin flame journey and your preparation for union. So I just think it's amazing how spirit lined all of that up. So that's what's happened. That's what's coming up. And swipe so you can, if you want to read about it. Okay. Oh, I'm actually also going to post that guy's post as well, so you can read what he had to say too, because it's long. So swipe to read, and I'll talk to you guys later.